It is Friday. We like Fridays around here because they're followed by weekends, and those are pretty cool too. 6th day of September 2024. I am Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting today with us here on the NCW Life Channel for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 64 degrees here in the big city. We topped off at 94 yesterday. The heat wave continues. We'll be close to triple digits today, and we may actually get above or at least to 100 degrees. Today, we're going to be close to 100. Tomorrow, we're going to be right at it or perhaps over it. Sunday, also hot. We could break records for these dates, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th, over the next 3 days. Also a tad hazy and a little smoky, and we'll show you why, as you see behind me from our Wenatchee Heights camera. We do have that pinkish salmon-colored hue from smoke. It's pretty high up in the atmosphere, and we'll show you a little video about what's going on with that. But get ready for some hazy skies. The smoke and the haze are going to be fairly high up in the atmosphere, but it's certainly going to be noticeable. Those details are coming up. A lot of news to get to. It is the first big Friday of the prep sports schedule and the prep sports season for autumn. We'll let you know what football teams are playing where, and soccer as well. Seahawks begin. They get going on Sunday against Denver. Mariners won their last ever scheduled game in Oakland yesterday. Thank you very much, Luke Raley and Cal Raleigh, and Julio as well. They all participated. We'll have that in sports. And of course, the Chelan County Fair kicked off yesterday. Goes through today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Now, I know it's going to be hot, but you got to remember that the Chelan County Fairgrounds out there in Kashmir, they have a lot of shade. A lot of natural shade from big trees, and they have a lot of indoor buildings. So don't let the heat turn you away from seeing our friends up there in Kashmir. We're going to revisit the interview I did with Karen Welch, the fairgrounds manager, in the back half of the program. Let's go. 2 minutes after the hour. Lots to get to. It's a scenario that happens a few times a month. We have 5 pounds worth of television programming and a 4-pound bag to put it in. There's the haze. You can see it. The fires that are causing the smoke aren't local. They're down in southern Oregon and in far western Idaho, and some actually in northern California. But the way that the high pressure ridge is built up, and we're actually kind of pitched between two of them, it's feeding the smoke up into our area. Again, we're going to show you a satellite image here in just a couple of minutes about why the smoke is here, and it is here. Not real bad, but it is certainly noticeable. At Lake Wenatchee, it really looks kind of noticeable there. You can just see it hanging over the top of the Lake Wenatchee area. It's still a beautiful view. It's still one of my favorite cameras. But you can see the haze and the smokes is really prevalent there. You can see down there the Cater Glen Golf and Ski Resort as well. Can't make out Fish Lake from that view. Wish we could, but we can't. And yesterday at this time, when we went up to the Billy Goat camera, there were spider webs hanging around the lens of the camera. I think they're gone. Maybe the wind or something, or maybe the spiders moved on. I don't know. Again, you can see the smoke and the haze up above in the skies above the Omak-Okanagan area. Right now, Omak, you're at 63, or actually a couple of degrees cooler than the Wenatchee Valley. We just popped up to 65 in the last couple of minutes. And all the way down south to our camera, not far from Royal City. And because of all the real estate you can see there, that really looks like it's a tad hazy down there. Normally, without that smoke and the haze, you could see miles and miles of miles and miles. Still see a little sliver of the Columbia down there, but that's down south and far southern, I guess, southeastern Grant County. I don't have my Google Maps up right away. Anyway, good morning to you folks. So why is the smoke here? Well, the smoke is here because of this. This is a little satellite image that they took yesterday. That's during the day, and it switches over tonight. You can see there are some fires in southern Oregon and western Idaho, and the smoke is heading right up to us. It's being funneled up by the prevailing winds high up in the atmosphere, and it's feeding all that smoke up into our area, which is why the haze is here. Again, the smoke is going to be fairly high up in the atmosphere. You're not going to be able to smell it. Not going to see, I don't think, any sort of problems with the AQI, the air quality index. That should stay within pretty normal range, but it's going to be very noticeable, and that is why you can see it's just feeding up almost right over the top of the north central Washington area, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. The haze will be most prevalent right after sunrise and right before sunset. That's when it will be at its most. By the way, sunrise this morning 6:27, sunset tonight 7:30. That's 13 hours and 2 minutes of daylight. Tomorrow, Saturday, September 7th, we go under the 13-hour mark, 12 hours and 59 minutes of daylight. So that's what's going on. That's why the haze is here. From the National Weather Service, in detail, if we get to 99, that would be a new record. The record high in the state is 97. We're looking at 99 for the high today. Now, the haze may keep us down a degree or two, but they don't think so. Haze will be forming overnight tonight. We'll have, outside of that, clear skies. 68 for the overnight low. It's going to be hazy, not cloudy. 101 is within the range of Saturday, and even if we don't get to 101, if we get anything above 94 on Saturday, and that's certainly going to happen, that would be a new record. New record high on Sunday is a possibility. Slightly cooler with a high of 96. The big dome of high pressure is going to start sliding to the east, getting out of position Sunday night into Monday. That's why we cool down a little bit. We'll be on the edge of the high pressure ridge on Monday and Tuesday, and then by Wednesday we go back down to where we should be, which is the upper 70s for our afternoon highs on Wednesday and Thursday. Lots and lots of sunshine, but a little on the hazy side today, tomorrow, and probably spilling into Sunday as well. That's your forecast. Come right back in 2 minutes. Grab your cup of coffee or donut, whatever it is, and we'll give you the news. You're watching the Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Riley Gaines, the All-American female swimmer at the University of Kentucky, is our guest speaker for the Chelan County Republican Lincoln Day Dinner and Fundraiser, September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Riley's call to action is to defend and protect America's daughters from competing with and sharing locker rooms with biological men. Join us for an exciting evening with Riley Gaines and support our local candidates. VIP event at 5, dinner at 6. Go to Chelan County Lincoln Day at gmail.com for tickets.
Paid for by the Chelan County Republican Central Committee.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
I'm Jim Heinlein, agent at Springwater Insurance here in North Central Washington. As a licensed agent, we can't disclose any plan changes as it relates to Medicare year 2025, but we are getting ahead of all of these upcoming changes that will affect you. We have rented the entire upstairs ballroom for the first 3 days of October. You will get all your Medicare questions answered, but don't miss this talk or I'll explain all your options. To save a seat, give us a call now.
Little on the hazy side, 65 degrees. We'll be well into the 90s today. Could get triple digits on Saturday. Very warm on Sunday. A possibility of record high temperatures today, tomorrow, and Sunday before we cool off a little bit in the early part of next week. 9 minutes after the hour, the military veteran who fired gunshots into Wenatchee's VA medical clinic last year was sentenced Wednesday to 2 years probation and to mental health treatment. 54-year-old Troy A. McMaster of East Wenatchee pled guilty back in July to malicious mischief and discharging a firearm. He previously served in the U.S. Army in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Authorities say he carried out the December shooting while suffering a mental health crisis. Nobody was present in the building and there were no injuries, but police, of course, shot McMaster multiple times after stopping his fleeing vehicle. Under the sentence from Chelan County Judge Robert Jordan, he must be assessed and treated for both mental health and alcohol dependency issues. Wenatchee police say a North Wenatchee laundromat was the scene of racial threats and harassment earlier this week, on Tuesday, as a matter of fact. A 61-year-old Wenatchee man allegedly used racial epithets after getting into a dispute with another customer over the use of a laundry hamper. Witnesses told police the suspect used the N-word and threatened to retrieve a firearm from his parked vehicle. Questioned by police, the man denied the allegations. He was arrested on suspicion of felony harassment and committing a hate crime. Yesterday, the suspect was freed from the Chelan County Jail on his own recognizance. Chelan County prosecutors have until the end of business today to decide whether to file formal charges. The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority is going to share the final report of the Regional Sports Complex Feasibility Study. They're going to do this next week. Phase 1 involved an analysis of public demands and needs for determining preferences on the design of the complex. Input collected showed a primary need for an outdoor sport fields as well as an indoor aquatic facility. Phase 2 of the study aimed to compare aspects of the regional scale facility with local ones in terms of design options, financial performance, and projections and budget costs. Now that the Port Authority has completed Phase 2, the final report of the study will be presented to the public at the Chelan County PUD headquarters on September 12th at 11:15 a.m. Restoration efforts within the Chelan Butte wildlife area will impact hunting season. Of course, they had that big wildfire there last month. The Stamen Fire, which began on August 20th, burned about 3,100 acres. And the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife says it will impact critical habitats. The damage from the fire will affect hunting season. Pheasant releases in the Chelan Butte wildlife area will be suspended this year. The department says bighorn sheep hunting remains largely unaffected, and deer hunting will see varying impacts. Fish and Wildlife says while a lot of the native plants will recover by themselves, staff will focus on replanting native shrubs, repairing signs and infrastructure. The restoration efforts are expected to last a couple of years anyway. Speaking of the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife, they reported new cases of white nose syndrome in bats from 9 counties, including Grant and Okanagan counties. The fungal disease attacks hibernating bats. It causes them to get up too early from hibernation, and then they become dehydrated or they starve to death. The disease was first reported in our state in 2016, but over 280 cases have been confirmed since then. The new cases announced Thursday are the first ones of the year for Grant and Okanagan counties. Fish and Wildlife are asking that any strange bat behavior, such as flying outdoors in cold weather, be reported on the department's website. And of course, you want to avoid contact with bats of any kind, anytime. And construction began last night on the roadway to the Greater Wenatchee Regional Waste Management Facility. According to Douglas County, a lot of heavy trucks, as you might imagine, travel on South Webb Avenue to get to the landfill, and they do a lot of it every day, and that degrades the surface of the road. Douglas County crews will be working to resurface the road between the hours of 5:30 in the evening to 3:30 in the morning. From now through September 13th, the road will remain open to vehicles during the daytime. The county says the new strengthened roadway will prevent further will keep the road from falling apart, and it'll also lower the maintenance costs. Sounds good to me. That's the news at 14 minutes after the hour. We'll give the news to you one more time before we start a weekend. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, that's on television. Right here on the NCW Life Channel 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't fit into your schedule, and we certainly understand it probably doesn't, you can watch the news at your own convenience. It'll be up and running on our Facebook page. Our newscast will be posted on our YouTube page, our homepage, ncwlife.com. If there's something out there that you think warrants our attention, get a hold of us. Best way to do it is send us an email. It's pretty simple because everybody has one of those. news@ncwlife.com. Mariners win, and a whole bunch of football is going to be played this weekend. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
My name's Nick Dirk, and I've been a cinematographer-photographer for over 10 years. I got my start at the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Without the Tech Center, I wouldn't have got my first job in media production 3 months after I graduated high school.
My name is Charlie Voris, and I own Vortex Productions. My work has taken me on exciting adventures all around the world, and I got my start at Wenatchee Valley Tech.
Hey, my name is Ole Mingo, and I'm the Executive Director at Heirloom Creatives in Wenatchee. I am so thankful for Wenatchee Valley Tech to be able to have my dream career.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Alpine Air. Back to our roots in cowboy boots is the theme this year for the Chelan County Fair, September 5th through the 8th at the Fairgrounds in Cashmere. Backed by popular demand is Easton Corbin, performing Friday night at 7:30. Thursday is Senior Citizen Day, with those 62 and over getting in free. Kids Aggregation Day is Friday, Country Day is Saturday, and Family Day is Sunday. Info at ChelanCountyFair.com.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Just about 17 minutes after the hour in sports, the Mariners salvaged a split in their 4-game series with Oakland, their last ever scheduled game in Oakland. Of course, the Athletics will be playing the next 3 years in Sacramento before they move to Las Vegas. 6-4 the final. Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Luke Raley each homered. Seattle picks up the win. Brian Wu pitched pretty good too.
Muscled, a mile high, a towering fly ball, and it is fair. It's a rainmaker for a day game for Cal Raleigh. What a mammoth blast all the way up to the second deck. It's his 29th home run this season. He has now tied his skipper, Dan Wilson, 19th all-time in team history for Mariner home runs. Julio starts things with a bang. That is blasted all the way up to the second deck. It just took a seat out. A majestic, breathtaking home run from Julio. That was a missile.
For Julio, his 14th home run on the year. That's some pretty good exit velocity. 111.
1-1 to center field. Rodriguez makes the catch. Wilson will tag. Everyone else will stay put. That brings home the first A's run. Another RBI for Seth Brown.
Plenty deep out to right field. Lawrence Butler is there. There's out number 1. Robles comes home to score. An aggressive base running for Victor Robles pays off for the Mariners. It's a sacrifice fly by Cal Raleigh. He shoots this out to center field. Blade showing his numbers, looking into the sun at the wall, and it's gone!
There's some insurance for you.
A 9th inning home run to straightaway center field. 3rd hit today for Luke Raley, all for extra bases.
That'll get to the backstop, kicks right back to McCann. Throws to third, Schuman's tag is there, and the A's catch a lucky break.
Well, sometimes you just need a bounce to go your way, and that's exactly what happened to the Athletics.
Get this one in the air to center. Julio Rodriguez going back, fighting the sun at the wall. It's gone! So a towering blast for Brent Rooker, his 2nd home run of the game, his 35th of the year.
And he goes around. That's the ball game. The Mariners win it today. They split the series.
Mariners are now going to be in St. Louis. This is a 10 games in 10 days road trip. It wraps up with 3 against the Cardinals. Game 1 tonight at 5:15 on Root Sports. So to the standings we go. Seattle's back to within 4.5 of Houston in the American League West. Former Mariner Ty France hit the only home run of the game and scored the only run of the game. The Reds beat the Astros 1-0. Texas topped the Angels 3-1. They've remained 3 back of Seattle. As far as the wild card is concerned, the Yankees didn't play, so their lead for the top spot in the wild card remains at 4.5 games. Minnesota topped Tampa Bay 4-3 to move a half game ahead of the Royals. Seattle, of course, has company now, 5 games out of the third and final wild card spot after Detroit beat San Diego 4-3 to pull within 5 games of the Royals. College football, the locals will do this chronologically. Eastern Michigan comes calling to Mountain Lake. They'll take on the Washington Huskies. That's a 12:30 kickoff. That game will be broadcast on the Big Ten Network. Central Washington, they'll kick off their 2024 campaign. They're down in San Diego. That'll be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Eastern will host Drake at 4 o'clock. You can watch that on ESPN Plus if you have it. I don't. And Washington State has a night game. They'll be at Martin Stadium Saturday night. They'll be honoring the former coach Mike Leach, who, of course, coached at both Washington State and Texas Tech. 7 o'clock kickoff, nationally televised on Fox. Seahawks kick off their 2024 NFL season Sunday at home against the Broncos. Geno Smith, Julian Love, and Devon Witherspoon all talked about how excited they are to finally play a game that counts.
Super excited, obviously taking it one day at a time, but we can't wait for the game. I think the guys are super excited and ready to go out there and execute, be in front of the home fans. Looking forward to the 12s coming out, being loud as ever. Looking forward to a special season and, all of us collectively just having a bunch of fun.
I think it's the same amount of excitement. You're in camp for so long, it feels like, and you're kind of grinding away. And to finally get into action, to finally game plan is exciting. So. Similar excitement.
I think the most thing I'm excited about is to see what we're going to do as far as team-wise, but I'm just ready to be back in Lumen. I just know the fans they go crazy when we back in Lumen, so I just ready to experience that again. It's been a minute.
Seahawks and Broncos, 1:05 kickoff. You can watch the game on CBS or not. It's a free country. High school football kicked off last night. In the Central Washington Athletic Conference, Toppenish beat Grandview 17-6, and East Valley rolled over Riverview. The final there is 50-0. Tonight in the CWAC, it's Othello at Ellensburg. Ephrata will host Prosser, and Sela visits Quincy. As far as the Big Nine is concerned, the Wenatchee Panthers, they'll be in Coeur d'Alene tonight to take on Lake City. New Panther head coach Taylor Mitchell says the 0-1 Timberwolves have the edge because they've already played a game.
Well, I think Lake City has a little bit of an advantage over us, having their week 1 game last week, being able to shake off the rust a little bit, make some week 1 mistakes. And for us, it's our first game. I know that they had some turnovers last week. We were able to watch part of their game and some mistakes that you typically see week 1 from a football team. So that means that we just have to go in there, take care of the football, and limit those mistakes first time playing a football game. They have a big, tall, mobile quarterback. He escaped and can get out of the pocket. So I think keeping him in there, staying disciplined on the back end with our defensive backs is going to be super important. And then offensively, limiting those negative plays. There's a lot of penalties last week in that Lake City game. And so, up front, staying clean, I think controlling the football and, establishing the line of scrimmage is going to be super important for us week 1.
Finn Matheson is a senior running back, and he tells us there's definitely a different feel to this year's Panthers squad under the new coaching staff.
This year seems completely different because you go in the weight room, there's like 20, 30 guys in there just getting work done. In years past, it's been like 5 to 10. So it definitely has been different this year. And it's definitely like the energy is different around here. And it's a good place to be right now.
Wenatchee and Lake City, they'll kick off tonight at 7 o'clock. Eastmont, they got to wait till tomorrow afternoon, actually, to start its season. They'll be at Bonnie Lake. New Wildcat head coach Jay Foster says Bonnie Lake has gone through the similar changes that Eastmont has in the offseason.
Their defensive coordinator bumped up and become the head coach, just as we did. So he and I have talked already, and neither one of us are going to change a whole bunch. So we have last year's film. They have our last year's film. We have theirs. And you go in with the idea that, okay, it's not going to change a whole bunch, but there's going to be something different. So our preparation, and that's what we do all summer. And that's why Central Washington's camp that we go to, now we play, quick 20-play scrimmage against 6 or 8 different teams. And so each one is different. So the things that we coach and teach aren't necessarily designed for a specific team. It's designed for whoever shows up.
Senior nose guard Ricardo Colunga says he's looking forward to getting to lead by example. This is his senior year in an Eastmont uniform.
I can't believe it. I just feel like it's been a long time, and I don't really think of it as like 4 years. I just think of it as like a good time I've had. You can't back down, and you can't just slack off, you know? You always got to keep going all the way around. Yeah, especially in the classroom. Sometimes I was low getting Fs and had to bring it back up because I couldn't, miss time from football, wrestling, and other things like that.
Eastmont kicks off at Bonnie Lake tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Now, in years past, we wouldn't be covering the SCAC, but Kashmir is now in the SCAC, and they start their inaugural campaign of that conference with a game at Wapato tonight. Royal visits Kiona Benton. Connell will take on Zilla, while Luke is at Natchez Valley, and College Place will host Weston McEwen. There's only 3 teams left in the Caribou Trail League, and it'll be an interesting year there. They're all non-league games tonight. Chelan will visit Jenkins out of Chewelah. Omak is at Okanagan, and Cascade will take on Libertyville. For the 2Bs tonight, it's Lake Roosevelt hosting Colfax. Brewster's at Reardon. Tenaska takes on Kettle Falls. Bridgeport visits Waterville-Mansfield, and Manson is at Cle Elum. In 1B play, Moses Lake Christian visits Sunnyside Christian. Soap Lake is on the road at St. John Endicott La Center, and Antioch has a Saturday night matchup at Decoa Rosalea at 6 o'clock. And can't forget about girls soccer. They get underway tomorrow. Full slate of matches. Moses Lake will be at Post Falls at 10 a.m. Noon, you got Cascade at Ephrata. Tenino hosts Chelan. Wenatchee's at Sela. Quincy will host Davis. Omak will be at Lake Roosevelt at 1. And Eastmont's on the road at Mount Spokane tomorrow at 2. And plus there's volleyball and cross country. It's that time of the year again. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 27 minutes after the hour. Before we get to the official Obscure Holiday, I want to wish all of our friends down there in Bulgaria a happy Unification Day. It's Unification Day in Bulgaria. I didn't want to forget that. I got a lot of people who watch the show online in Bulgaria. Today is National Read a Book Day. It should be every day. Quite frankly, I'm always working on a book. I always got one book I'm always working on. Sometimes I'll work on it pretty hard for hours on end, and other times I'll pick it up and do 10 pages and put it back down again. Even if, and I've read some books in the past, and I've read a lot of books. I've read some books I didn't much care for, but once you start it, you kind of have to finish it. That kind of deal. Famous people and smart people quoting about books. Albert Einstein once said, read books from eras past. Good advice there. The philosopher Seneca said, don't jump too quickly from one book to another book. That's also good advice. Virginia Woolf, who I'm scared of, once said, shop at secondhand bookstores. You can find some good stuff there. I love Powell's books in Portland, but boy, I'm poor if I do that. Edward Bulwer Lytton once said, you can skip outdated scientific books, but not old books. You should read them. And my favorite from Theodore Roosevelt, you get to make the final decision on how to read, what to read, and when to read. And by the way, Mary Wollstonecraft once said, and this is also good, reading so-called guilty pleasures is better than reading nothing at all. There you go. Reading, it's good for you. Read a book today. Read 2. Get a library card, whatever it takes. 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history, on this date, one significant voyage ended and another began. 502 years ago, September 6th, 1522, the Victoria, the very first known ship to make it all the way around the globe, returned to Spain. Now, another ship may have done it before the Victoria, but they didn't bother to write it down. They probably should have. The only surviving ship of Ferdinand Magellan's trip around the world. When the voyage started, they had 5 ships and 265 men aboard the 5 ships. When it was all over, 18 men were left and 1 ship, the Victoria. Some had deserted, a lot of men died, some were lost in wrecks, some were taken prisoner in Portugal, so on and so forth, but they made it. They were probably really happy to be home. That was 502 years ago today, and 404 years ago today, almost 100 years later, September 6, 1620, the Pilgrims set sail on the Mayflower to head to North America. They took off from Plymouth, England. They tried about a month earlier. They had all kinds of issues. They went back and did it all over again. The Mayflower was not a ship designed for ocean travel. It was a cargo ship. It wasn't even designed for people, for that matter. Mostly just traveled along the Mediterranean, pretty close to the coastline. It was not an ocean ship. It was a cargo ship, and needless to say, the living quarters for the pilgrims were pretty crappy. Of the 102 passengers, their living area was about 80 feet by 20 feet. That's getting real close, folks, 80 by 20, and they crammed in 102 passengers. The ceiling was only 5 feet tall. That would make it rather uncomfortable for me, but they're on their way for a rather interesting trip. The Mayflower set sail on this date in 1620. So Abraham Lincoln got shot and killed, no Secret Service protection. Garfield got shot and killed, no Secret Service protection. Yes, it took the third assassination to finally get Congress to pass legislation to put the Secret Service in charge of protecting the president. It was because on this date, 123 years ago in Buffalo, Leon Czolgosz, an unemployed anarchist, shoots and kills President William McKinley at the Pan Am Exposition. Now, it took McKinley a while to die. McKinley enjoyed meeting the public. He did not like the security that was available to his office at the time. His executive secretary feared that he would get shot because he was out in public without any bodyguards at all. So the visit was scheduled to Buffalo. The secretary took it off the schedule. McKinley put it back on the schedule. It looked like when he was shot on September 6th, he was going to recover. But on September 13th, the wounds became gangrene, and then he died the next day. Theodore Roosevelt becomes the president. By the way, Leon Czolgosz was sentenced to death, and Congress finally passed legislation putting the Secret Service in charge. So it took 3 assassinations, but they got around to it. It's Congress. They were busy. We talked about this yesterday, the 52nd anniversary of the tragedy in Munich, September 6, 1972. The 9 Israeli hostages who were not killed during the initial round into the village, the athletes' village, were killed at the airport at the hands of the Black September gang, the Palestinian terrorist groups out at the airport in Munich. Of course, there were 2 Israeli athletes who were shot during the initial attack. The 9 others would die on the tarmac, along with a German policeman, September 6th, 1972. And 29 years ago today, I remember watching this entire game on television. September 6, 1995. Cal Ripken Jr. of the Baltimore Orioles plays in his 2,131st consecutive game, breaking what they thought was an unbreakable record by Lou Gehrig that had stood for 56 years. By the way, this was in 1995, and Cal Ripken would play every game for the rest of that year, every game in 1996, 1997, and until September of 1998, when he finally took his name off the lineup. He would end up playing in 2,632 consecutive games. I don't think that'll be broken. I just don't. But a baseball, you never know. Birthdays. The patriarch of the Kennedy family, Joseph P. Kennedy Sr., made a lot of money doing illegal stuff. Like, you know, the stock market was unregulated back in the day, in the early part of the 20th century, and he took advantage of the unregulated stock market. There was no, Securities and Exchange Commission or anything like that. So everything that he did to make a lot of money was basically insider trading and market manipulation. He took all that money and bought real estate. His fortune ended up being about, in today's money, $3.56 billion. It was ill-gotten gains for the most part. But of course, he spawned the famous Kennedy family, fired by FDR at the start of World War II. He was the ambassador to the court of St. James, and he told his boss, the President of the United States, Roosevelt, that Britain has no chance against the Nazis and we should just not get involved. And he was recalled. Joseph P. Kennedy Sr., born in the state in 1881, and Jimmy Reed. On Sunday, this guy is going to spend a lot of time on my turntable. Honest I do, baby, what you want to do to me, big boss man, bright lights, big city. The great Jimmy Reed, one of the most accessible bluesmen of all time. Born in the state in 1925, didn't live very long, most of them didn't. Introduction to blues, if you're going, oh, maybe I'll get into blues, or maybe I like it, I don't know anything about it. What should I play? I would recommend almost anything by Jimmy Reed. It's out there. It'll give you a taste of the blues, and then you'll just get deeper and deeper. Just tell them I sent you. All right, special thanks to our platinum sponsor. That's Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Your air conditioner has probably never worked as hard as it ever has this summer. I hope it held up pretty good. And if something seems like it's a little cattywampus with your AC unit, give these guys a call. They know what they're doing. They've been in business so long. Of course they know what they're doing, because those who don't make it as long. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and because the Chelan County Fair is underway, I wanted to tease you one more time with that great interview we did with a really classy lady, Karen Welch, the fairgrounds manager. This is her baby. Karen joins me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure, on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
Thank you for trusting Appy's legendary pizza for 60 years. Your hard-earned money supports hundreds of youth working at our parlors, dozens and dozens of nonprofits and school teams throughout the area. At Appy's, doing good in the neighborhood has never tasted so delicious. Can you smell it? It's not arugula and pear. It's bacon, and cheddar. Yep. Everybody's favorite pizza is back on sale this month at Abby's, loaded with 2 kinds of bacon and real cheddar cheese. Enjoy Abby's September special at a very special price.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Locatel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting locatel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, in high school, my friend Fritz and his girlfriend Maria, they started asking me to go out on their dates with them. Now, this was because Maria had a friend Sally who liked me, and Maria always arranged for this kind of double date kind of thing. Now, I really wasn't into Sally, but to be nice, I'd have to go to her door and pick her up, you know, and then go out with Fritz and Maria. But about the third time this happened, Sally's parents met me at the door, and they said I couldn't pick up Sally anymore until I combed my hair and tucked in my shirt. I turned around and walked out. Oh, Sally came running out a few minutes early, really angry, and said she told her parents to mind their own doggone business. But honestly, this was the last time I picked up Sally. You know, memories of youth and dating, they're sometimes not all they're cracked up to be. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCW Life app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCW Life app now.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment.
As the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $1,800.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Welcome back to the program. It is, of course, fair time. The Grant County Fair in Moses Lake, a huge success. That was followed by the NCW Fair up in Waterville, and despite the weather, a ton of people showed up there. Karen even showed up for a little while up in Waterville. And then, of course, they had Labor Day weekend off, and now always the weekend after Labor Day, it's the Chelan County Fair's turn to do the voodoo that they do so well. And this lovely lady has been a good friend of the station and a good friend to anybody in Chelan County. Karen Welch is the fairgrounds manager. This guy, her baby. How you doing?
Great.
It's good to see you again.
You too. I missed you last year.
I know. I got COVID last year, and I missed that whole week.
I know. Something fell off for me. There was no tradition. This is a tradition for us. I love it.
How you holding up? This is. I know
Great.
you go. Do you like live here, like starting in like mid-August?
I'm here a lot.
Yeah.
I sleep here during fair.
Do you really?
I do.
You have a cot in your office?
I have a mat. I do. People go, are you kidding me? Nope, but I got a shower, and so yeah, I do. I stay here. It's just, it's just easier.
Back to our roots and cowboy boots is the theme this year. You didn't go with my idea, which is probably a good idea anyway.
Oh, do we want to hear it? I forgot.
My idea was come smell the excitement. I mean, but no, your theme.
That depends
is a lot
on
better.
what building you're in, Dan. If that's a good theme or a bad theme, okay? Yeah, I can see the Wilkins building. That'd be a great theme.
After last year's fair, you have a little bit of downtime, but how soon from the 2023 fair did you start planning for this year's fair? I mean, you meet with the board.
Yeah, we meet immediately. You're in October, then you're getting your officers, you're getting your committee people, and then you just hit the ground running again. I mean, there's just a lot to plan in a fair. And, you're dealing with other people's schedules, so you just can't sit back and wait, right up to fair when you're going to have your entertainment. And your vendors, they're always looking as to, are we in, are we out? Because they're trying to make a living too. So, yeah, it's just a lot of planning, so you start right away.
And a lot of the vendors and a lot of the acts kind of do the fair circuit.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that, they always know that the weekend after Labor Day weekend, they're going to be in Kashmir at the fairgrounds. The reptile guy is back, and the guy who does the unicycle and juggles, I don't know how he does that. Yeah. He's back. He's always been a popular attraction. You change things up, though. You meet every year with your board and say, this worked and this didn't. And let's see what we want to do.
Well, yeah, we're always trying to improve the fair for the community. I mean, they're paying an admission to come and see something, great, and that's the type of program we want to put on for them. So, yeah, we work hard for that. There's always the expenses. Things are getting more and more expensive, and you're trying to keep up with all of that and find the best bang for your buck, so that the public has something to come and see as far as entertainment. We do have some new food vendors this year. They'll be interesting. We'll just wait and see what it's like when they get here. So.
Your entertainment lineup is fantabulous. You got that Selena tribute band coming in.
That's on Thursday night.
You're going to pack the joint for that.
Oh, we were so hoping. We think it's going to be high energy. And you were talking about weather with Waterville. We think ours is going to be great. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hope that is the case.
And Easton Corbin will be here this year.
Yes. Well, we sure hope, because that was really, really hard last year, and we felt really bad for him because obviously he got extremely sick, ended up at our local hospital, and had to cancel. But he made a commitment to come back and perform for us again. So we're excited to see what he's going to bring. He better bring his A game for us, right?
When we were setting up our cameras, do you have new lights in the arena? It looked to me like those are new lights in the arena.
We don't have new lights, but we have new light bulbs. Wow, okay. We actually had the fire department came out with their big lift in. We were out here one evening and lighting the place up. So we do have a lot of new LED lights in our buildings this year, which happened right after fair last year through a PUD grant. So there are a number of LED exterior lights that will light up the grounds at night, and then in our buildings it'll be great for the fairgoers and especially our superintendents. Not all that flicker with all the ballast going out, so brighter and better.
Each day has a theme. You've been doing this for years.
Yep.
Do you remember the themes off the top of your head? Because I got a cheat sheet.
No,
Go ahead.
I know. So on Thursday is Senior Day, and seniors can come in free from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
62 and older.
Yes.
Okay.
And then on Friday it's Kids Day, and they're allowed to come in free from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Accompanied by an adult.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then on a Saturday is that is County Day. That's our largest attendance day, and then Sunday is Family Day. And we have so many sponsors. I mean, it's hard for me to rattle them all off and name them, but if any of them are watching, we are super grateful for that. It's helping us to keep our expenses down for the public, because with your admission, if you're a senior, for $8 you can come and see the rodeo for free, or see one of our concerts, and $12 for an adult and $8 for kids. And a pass for a family is $40. So we still try to make it a great value. Once you come through the gate, other than the food or any of the souvenirs you want to buy, your entertainment, is completely free. And I think that's still a great value.
Family pass is 2 adults and 3 kids for $40. That's it?
For
$40?
Mm-hmm.
You could have jacked up that price.
Well,
a little bit.
so we can back up the bus here. And Wednesday's our entry day.
Right.
And so I always encourage people, come and enter something into your county fair. You have bake something, make something. And with that, then for adults, you get you can buy a $15 pass. Kids can buy a $10 pass, and then you can come every day for the to the fair. And on $15, what is that? Do the math. That's not even $6 a day. I mean, it's pretty cheap.
A lot of your sponsors have been here every year.
Yeah.
You don't even have to call them up. So Karen, just let us know.
We've got a number of new ones, and we're really grateful for the all those people stepping up and really seeing the value in a county fair and financially supporting it, so that more people can come and enjoy it, because sometimes times are getting tough for a lot of people, and we still want a great value, and that's what we're trying to do. But we can't do it without them. We really can't. And that's not just a cliche. That is the truth.
The whole list, by the way, is on the packet. You can download. It's a PDF. It's 108 pages. The fair book. It's ginormously large. It's got everything you need. All the hours. All the sponsors. It's very well done, by the way. I don't know who put it together, but kudos to them.
Actually, somebody on our fair board.
Really?
Well, shout out to Nicole.
Shout out to Nicole. You mentioned enter stuff. Fiber art, sewing, needlework, quilts, food preservation, baking, recycling, horticulture, flowers, dahlias, arrangements. There's a gazillion things you can enter and win.
We have
and
a
compete
category
in.
for just about everything.
It's crazy. Yep. It's crazy. Photography, sculpture, painting, hobbies, woodwork. And then, of course, you got to have your live animals, your swine, your sheep, your goats, your poultry, your rabbits are all going to be here.
And they're going to be here for the auction on Saturday.
How many volunteers does it take to do all this stuff?
Oh, my word.
Because there's like 100 different things to enter in and 4-H and FFA and all that stuff.
That's a stat that I have, but I don't have it memorized, but I know it's well over 100, because in entry day, each one of these buildings has volunteers that help with the entries as they come in. Then they have judges that judge, and then if it's the animals, then they have clerks. Clerks are people who are taking all the notes from the judges as to the placement of the animals or the placement of the exhibits. And then they have hosts and hostesses and superintendents, people who are in the building for easily 13 hours a day, manning that building. So I know it's well over 100 people that come and help. And then, you have to think about all the people who volunteer before fair that really aren't fair volunteers, like your 4-H leaders, your FFA advisors, your Grange leaders, Girl Scouts, Boy Scout leaders, that type of thing. You consider them also volunteers, because they're getting their groups and clubs ready to come to fair. So they're putting in, volunteering and putting in their time, the same as the people who are actually on the property giving their time to the fair. And then many of those are here with their clubs, and they've paid admission, to get here to still help be a volunteer, basically.
Are you energized by I know you work so hard. You're here all the time. You put in ridiculous hours, and everybody loves you. But you also you dig this too, don't you? I mean, come on, you
Of
dig
course
it.
I do, or I
You
wouldn't,
dig it,
I
yeah.
wouldn't have been doing it this long. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have a passion about something or you don't have a vision for it and you don't get excited about it and you want to see it improve every year, and you know, it's just like the grounds, you know, we work so hard to get the grounds, you know, as pristine as we can, knowing that we're going to have 20-some thousand people tromp through your property, you know, but we want it to look, you know, great. I just have the philosophy, companies coming, we're having guests, and so you want it to look its best, and you want to greet them, and you want everybody to come, I mean, and have a great time. I mean, that's how I am if I entertain in my home, so this is like my home away from home, so I guess I have kind of the same philosophy.
Last June, we came up and interviewed the guys at the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival, and we looked across the street, and there's Karen with a weed whacker, you know, by the fence. That's how much she cares about the campus and the fairgrounds. Very compact. One of the things I really love about the campus here, the Chelan County Fairgrounds, grass everywhere.
35 acres of mowing, literally.
Literally. But I mean, you don't get a lot of blowing dust. It's a pretty small campus, all things considered.
Very small footprint for a county fair. We are really small footprint. So everything is condensed. Yeah.
Everything we're talking about, by the way, is on the website. Who's your webmaster? They did a good job too. It's so easy to find everything you need.
Between Nicole and the IT person at the county. Yeah.
It's very well done. It is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wednesday is entry day. Starts at 8:30 in the morning, I believe, is when you can start coming in and do your entries. Is that correct?
At 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock on Wednesday.
9 till 8.
Okay.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday, and then we open up the gates on Thursday. Again, the 2 adults and 3 kids, that's 6 to 17 years. You get the family pass for $40. Come and go as you want to.
Yeah.
It's amazing. For a senior citizen, a season ticket, come and go when you want to, $20. It's the best deal in town.
We think so.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add while we have you here, Karen?
We'll have Davis Carnival will be back.
Oh, yes, please.
You can buy wristbands at the carnival. They're $38 for all you can ride. The auction will be on Saturday. Fur and Feather starts at 9. The main auction starts at 10. Come on out and support all of your FFA, 4-H, and Grange kids who work so hard with their projects. And just a reminder, Selena tribute band on Thursday night, Easton Corbin on Friday night.
And then the rodeo.
Well, real quick, PRCA rodeo on Saturday, and on Sunday, a total different rodeo. Fun and games for the family at the rodeo on Sunday, prizes, all kinds of things like that. We have Felix Santana as the entertainment, and we have a rodeo clown that I hear has a great act too. I haven't seen it. Don't know if I'll get out to see it, but just some new exciting things are going to be happening at the PRCA rodeo both days.
And you're a fair ambassador gal, that 17-year-old, very poised young woman.
Hannah Collins is our ambassador, and Austin Robinson is our first ever Chelan County rodeo queen, and she's been all over the state promoting the Chelan County rodeo. So it's some changes and some good changes, and they're just fabulous gals.
What happens to you Sunday night when the gates close? Do you just collapse?
Well, no, because I get up the next morning and it's like a bomb's gone off, and I have a rally of about 80 to 100 coaches that start pulling in that day for their rally that week. So as soon as we're done with fair, boom, we hit it again for the next event that comes onto the Chelan County Expo Center
You
campus.
can sleep over the Thanksgiving holiday. How's that sound?
Yeah. Eat enough turkey, I'm sure I will.
Karen Welch, I want to party with you. It sounds like you're fun with entertaining at home. I'm liking that.
Come on over. Well, call first, make sure I'm there.
But yeah, she's going to be here, I can tell you that much. Back to our roots and cowboy boots is the theme this year for the Chelan County Fair, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just Google Chelan County Fair. It's all right there. You can download the packet. It's a PDF, and check out when you want to go see all of the cool entries. Everything that you need to know is on the website. Karen, it's so good to see you.
You too, Dan.
Time to go answer more phone calls and talk to more volunteers, right?
Yep.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. I'd like to thank the Academy for making this happen. Obviously, all my people, my team, my manager, my agent, my manager's agent, my agent's manager, Trixie and Bubbles, Captain Wagner, of the Presidential Advisory Commission, the late great Uriah Darby, rest his soul. I'm going to
What once was old now is new to the NCW Life channel. Tune in for Bonanza, Superman, The Andy Griffith Show, The Beverly Hillbillies, The Invisible Man, The Lone Ranger, and The Lucy Show. Check your program guide for classic programming on NCW Life channel, your local TV station. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Temperature hasn't moved since the show started. Normally it starts climbing up as the sun works its way up into the sky. It might be the haze. The haze will be thinning out as the day progresses. It'll go higher up in the atmosphere, but it's still 65, and it was 65 an hour ago. And I didn't mention this at the start of the show, and I probably should have. We're still under the influence of that heat advisory. That continues until 9 o'clock tomorrow night, but it's still going to be plenty warm on Sunday, too. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of shade at the Chelan County Fair. They have big trees, lots of indoor exhibit spaces and halls and stuff like that. So you will get some relief from the heat if you're heading up to Cashmere for the fair this weekend. You do notice the haze, and the haze is coming from some wildfires down in southern Oregon, northern California, and down in Idaho. This is a satellite image that the National Weather Service sent our way. You can see the smoke. You can see the smoke for the wildfires as they're drifting upwards as the ridge of high pressure is spinning around and taking that smoke and sending it right up our way, and it's going to be that way for probably right into the weekend. Now, it's going to be more hazy than smoky. It's going to be very high up in the atmosphere. It's not going to really affect our air quality at all, but it may affect our temperatures. It may actually knock it down a couple of degrees from what they think it might be, simply because the haze is going to be up there. So smoky skies in some locations, but probably just hazy in our viewing area. I'm glad I don't live in the Bend area. That doesn't look very fun at all. So that's where the haze is coming from. And most of it really started to build up late yesterday afternoon and last night, and so that's why we have the haze hanging around the Wenatchee Valley. Okay, in detail, here we go for the National Weather Service. After hitting 94 yesterday, our forecast high today is 99. If we get there, that would be a new record for September 6th. 68 for the overnight low with some haze reforming. Again, the haze will be at its thickest in the early morning hours, in the late afternoon, early evening, basically right after sunrise and right before sunset is when the haze will be at its thickest. 68 for the overnight low. We could get triple digits on Saturday. That would shatter the record. The record high temperature on September 7th, which is Saturday, 93 degrees. We're looking at 101 tomorrow. 71 for the overnight low on Saturday. Now we're getting deeper and deeper into September. These temperature anomalies are kind of strange. We've had 7 days in a row with our afternoon high temperature above normal. We're going to stretch that to about 2 consecutive weeks of our afternoon high temperature above normal before things calm down on Wednesday and Thursday at least. Cooler anyway. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay cool. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.